Okay, today we're going to look at the KD rig, which I believe was put into use around 1989 to 1990 by a gentleman named Kenny Dorset. It was then later on brought to more fame by the use of people like Tom Dove and Ali Mahidi, which then publicised it a lot over TV. Slightly different to a lot of the other hair rigs that you may see, as the hair comes quite aggressively out the back of the hook by the eye, rather than being fastened down on the shank of the hook here. On this one I have a shot on the hair which helps to pin the hook to the bottom of the lake bed, which helps with the mechanics of the hook once the carp takes it in and flips the hook up to help catch in the bottom lip. This is a very effective rig, and over the years I should imagine it's took quite a few different changes from when it was first invented or used by Kenny himself. This is my version of it. I've tried to keep it as similar as I possibly can, but let's face it, it's been going around for a long time now. Different variations of this rig can be changed by lengthening or shortening their hair, but let's remember the pure mechanics of this rig is to have a very short hair. The bait should be, in my opinion, be pretty much brushing on the bottom of the hook there, unlike some other hairs where they're much longer and come further away. Other changes which can be made to this is also how much of the coating you're stripping off. Some people like to have a large amount of uncoated braid here. Some people prefer to have it come straight out with coating on still. Personally, I've tried it both ways, and I will leave it down to you to try and figure out what is best for your fishing. Because the hair comes out of the back of the hook by the eye, this makes the eye of the hook a lot lighter, pulling it up and always making the point of the hook aim downwards. The general check that most people do for their rigs is pulling it over their hand as such. This rig will not always set into your hand because the mechanics of this rig are different to normal rigs. I think this is a great rig, and I have used it multiple times over the years, and I still use it today. I strongly recommend that if you're looking for a new rig or if you're just starting out, this is a fairly easy rig to make and very, very effective. I hope you enjoy this video and enjoy trying to make this yourself. Happy catching. Okay, so to start this one off, we're going to take some coated braid. Let's pull it out off. Then what we're going to do is we're going to strip some of the coating off. You can get a stripper tool for this, or I just tend to use my hands. That just strips away a little bit of the coating, so it just makes that end section a little bit more soft and supple. Then what we'll do is we're going to tie a simple loop into the end of this, which is going to form our hair. Just like so. Now, don't worry if you're not familiar with tying this knot. We have a video on it just for you. After we've done this, we'll take our bait. Today I'll just be using a foam ball, just for demonstrational purpose. We'll just apply this straight onto the braid there, and we're just going to use a little bait stop. Use a little bait stop just to secure that in place there. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our hook. Which is going to be a curved shank hook. Now, I do know people that use wide gates for this rig as well, but Personally, I believe the curved shank is the better hook to use. And we're going to pass our braid through the back of the eye of the hook. Okay, can you see that? Go through the back of the eye towards the point. This is very important. Okay, we're just going to slowly feed it through, not too abruptly. We don't want to be stripping off all of the coating, and we're just going to bring it up. So our bait literally just sits underneath the hook, almost just brushing on it there, you know. And then what we're going to do is start forming the knotless knot. If you're unfamiliar with the knotless knot, don't worry, we also have a video on that for you. We're going to be doing it slightly different today though, so this is the piece that you need to pay attention to. We're going to whip down twice, but where we'd normally continue to go down, we're going to stop for a second and we're going to move the hair out of the way. So then we can continue whipping underneath the hair. Can you see that? We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times underneath. Flip that hair back over, and then I get this so you can see it. We're coming back through the back of the hook again towards the point there. Can you see that? This is a very important part. Okay, then we're going to slowly feed it back through again. Don't just drag it through crazy. We don't want to strip off any more of that braid, that coating. And then we're just going to tuck it up there. As always, a little bit of saliva, moisten that up so it doesn't get a friction burn on it. And this is where we're going to see it. Can you see the way that that sits off the back? Because we moved the hair up and wrapped underneath it, it comes out of the back of the eye quite aggressively like that and leaves the hook always facing downwards. Can you see that? When the bait's picked up, the rig's already at this pointing down stage. This is the key for the KD rig. This is what the mechanics behind it. The hook's always sat that way. Okay, so then we can see the way that that's going to sit there. And then just to finish this off, we're going to pop a little shot. Then what we're going to do is just take a little sleeve and we're going to feed the line through the sleeve. Remembering the tapered end going down towards the hook and the wider end at the top, which will go over our quick link, either on our line or on our lead arrangement of our choice. At the top end here, we're simply going to tie a figure of 8 loop knot. If you're unfamiliar with this knot, don't worry, we have you covered for that too. And your end product should look something very similar to this. So now we've made the rig and we know a little bit about it. What bait is best to use on it? Well, I think you can use pretty much anything on this. I usually do. If you're going to use a pop-up or a wafter, whichever one you want to call it, have the shot on the hair. This will help pin it down and make it critically balanced. Always check this rig in the edge if you're using a pop-up or a wafter. As always, you should do when using them baits on any rigs, just to see how it sits. When using a light bait, pop-up or something like that, the hook should be sat on the bottom of the lake bed, like so, with the bait just hovering around there, just making it light so it gets sucked into the carp's mouth. Okay? It shouldn't be popped up like this. This rig can be used with pop-ups, wafters, bottom baits. But if you are using anything that pops up off the bottom, Then do put the shot on the hair. This is to help pin the hook to the bottom of the lake. The hook and the shot should be sat on the bottom of the lake bed with just the bait hovering up slightly above it. There's lots of different opinions on how this rig should be used. These are just mine, and I hope you've enjoyed watching.